What's going on, everybody? My name is Blas, and today I'm going to be filming the online coach and our buddy Sal. We're going to take you through this push workout, and I'm going to be picking Raymond or the online coach's brain throughout the workout, just asking him a bunch of general questions that maybe I have, some of you guys have. So stay tuned. We'll see you in the next clip. All right, coach. My first question is, do you think warming up separates the beginner lifters from the advanced and intermediate lifters? And if it does separate them, what would you recommend for a beginner to start in the beginning of his workout?
I think it definitely sets apart a beginner and intermediate or advanced lifter because over time, right, you run into injuries or discomfort from training, and you learn that over the years of training. As a beginner, you're kind of like, you have that YOLO type of mentality, and you don't think you need it, but it's definitely worth it because you feel better, you're primed up, you're going to perform better, so you're going to be optimal when training. And if you don't know the difference, try it. Just try doing some warm-ups, some dynamic movements. You can start with like foam rolling, soft tissue stuff. Get loose, especially if you've been sitting at a desk all day like myself. Soft tissue stuff, so like foam rolling, lacrosse balling, stuff like that. And then dynamic stretches. Dynamic meaning not static, not holding, pausing your stretch. You're moving. You're getting ready for your movements.
All right, coach. So before I learned about push-pull legs, I was doing a bro workout split. What are the benefits of doing a push-pull workouts as opposed to a bro split where I train every muscle group one time a week?
First off, it's the frequency that you're reaching with a like push-pull legs or an upper lower. You're able to add more frequency to that week, meaning you're training those muscle groups twice per week, at least twice per week. You can fit in 3 times a week if you want, but a lot of studies showing that higher frequency, it's easier to progress, it's easier to make gains. Right? Instead of doing like a bro split, chest tries, back biceps, and you're training everything once per week and you're smashing it, you're destroying those muscles once per week. With a push-pull legs or an upper-lower split, you're able to, like I said, add more frequency.
All right, coach. So I don't know how to properly warm up. I usually just go from the bar, then to 45s, and then to my working sets, which is about 2 plates. How do you properly go about warming up with bench press?
I guess there's no set rules or rule of thumb on your warm-up sets. I like to call them acclimation sets. So you're acclimating to heavier weight. The first thing I think of is what my working weight's gonna be, right? So today, our rep range is 8 to 12 reps, so a little bit higher reps, right? My guess is I'm gonna work anywhere between 225 to 250 for the working sets of 8 to 12. So I'm probably gonna use 225 as my last warm-up set, and I'm gonna hit that for a single. But I like to, what you wanna do is you wanna acclimate, you wanna work up your weight without over-exhausting yourself. That makes sense? So I went 135 and I actually did that. So I went to the bar for about 10 reps, 135, one plate for about 8 reps, and then now it's 185. I'm gonna do this probably 3 to 5 reps, and then 225 for 1 rep. So the lighter the weight, the lighter your working sets, the less amount of acclimation sets you need. It would be totally different if I was working up to like 315.
All right, coach. So what are your 3, I guess, top 3 mistakes that you see beginners doing or making mistakes about benching?
3?
Yeah.
It's a tough one, Cameron. You can think of one right off the top of my head is not tucking your elbows when benching. So elbows are flared out, right? Instead of tucking to a point where you're protecting your shoulders and you're utilizing more chest. So you want to find your sweet spot of tucking. You don't want to be too tucked, but you don't want to be flared out. 2, mistake is benching straight, in a straight line. You shouldn't be benching in a straight line. It should be down and then back to where you're holding the bar. So it's almost like that.
Gotcha.
Not so dramatic though. So benching in a straight line. 3, not keeping tight. Not keeping your legs tight where you're like, your legs are moving because you're struggling. You're not keeping tightness in your body.
All right, Coach, so our good friend Sal right here, he was making a common mistake a lot of people make. Do you mind explaining that?
I don't know what to call it, but I call it snapping. Where you at lockout, you're snapping. When you snap like that, you're losing tightness in your back, your shoulder blades, and you're just putting unnecessary pressure on your elbows.
All right, Coach, so in my commercial gym, I see a lot of people, they'll run through a whole workout, let's say bench press, in 4 minutes. They won't take any rest, but they'll still go heavy. How do you go about resting proper times in between sets?
It sounds like Superman, like they have a cape. Because if you're rushing your rest time in between sets, you're not gonna be fully recovered. And you're not gonna be able to hit the same amount of reps, the same amount of weight that next set. Right, so you're gonna cut yourself short. You want to take enough time, you don't wanna overdo it, but you wanna take enough time that you're confident the next set that you will not miss any reps. The whole goal is to push as much weight as possible over time. I'm gonna show you guys something regarding benching straight. That common mistake that I was talking about, benching in a straight line. I'm gonna get camera to lie down on the bench and I'm gonna show him something that's gonna demonstrate why benching straight is not optimal. All right, so I want you to have it straight in front of you. Okay, is that hard? Okay, compared to here. A lot harder. Yeah. So if he would bench straight, he would be holding the bar in front of him. But you don't want the bar in front of you. You want it back here where you're gonna be strongest. Feel the difference? Yeah. So having the bar in front of you is gonna have the bar over here, right? Straight, you're gonna be benching straight. Versus benching this way and have the bar here. It's easier to hold it back here, right? Yeah.
All right, Coach. So, as a beginner, I never knew what retracting your scapula was and how important it was to my bench. Can you give a brief explanation on how to do it and why it's so important on your bench?
I'll just keep it simple. Just picture your shoulder blades coming together. So you're pinching your shoulder blades like that.
Yep.
And that's gonna keep your back tight. It's gonna keep all that tightness. So when you're here, you're nice and tight. You don't necessarily have to have a super arch like this. Just find a spot where you can keep that tightness, shoulder blades are retracted, and you feel strongest. Moving on to the second movement, still on chest. We're gonna do some dumbbell incline press. Rep range is the same for this movement, 8 to 12 reps. But when I say 8 to 12 reps, that means you have to find the right weight that fits in that rep range. So you wanna get the least amount, 8, 12 at the most. You don't wanna do 12 super easy. You want to kind of hit an RPE 9. Rated perceived exertion. One left in the tank.
All right, Coach, so I see a lot of people doing a bunch of different weird chest movements. What is your take on doing a bunch of random chest movements rather than just sticking to the basics like bench press, dumbbell bench press, dumbbell incline press? What's your take on that?
Well, if you guys have been watching me for a while, I'm a simple man. Stick to the basics, your compound movements, and then some accessory work. But the main thing of keeping it simple and keeping like bread and butter movements is you're able to track progression a lot more accurately. Versus if every week you're doing something different, progression focus is not there. And progression in your lifts is everything.
All right, coach. So to build a full chest, or what people think is a full chest, do you need decline bench press or decline dumbbell bench press in your set routine?
That's a very good question, Cameron. I get asked that all the time. And my answer is no. I haven't done decline in probably about 7 to 8 years. And the reason being is when you contract your chest, the whole thing contracts as one, right? So decline is kind of a waste of, I guess it's a waste, not a waste of time, but it's not as efficient as just doing flat or incline. In reality, you don't even have to do incline. You could build a very respectable chest without doing incline.
All right, coach, so I do bench press and incline press, but I want to build a better inner chest. Are there different movements specified for that, or is bench press and incline press good enough for the long term?
I think it's good enough. If you guys have noticed that I don't do that many chest fly sets, like it's not a painful movement for me, but I like throwing it in once in a while just to get more blood in the chest, which doesn't really always lead to muscle gain, progression, but it feels good. Feels nice getting that chest nice and plump.
All right, coach, for face pulls, I see you do them on push days. Why is that?
Good question, Cameron. It's because you can do it on either day, your push or pull day, right? But face pulls targets your delts, your rear delts, and I consider that a push movement. The next day, your pull day, it's not going to affect your pull day as much as you think because it's a smaller muscle group, so it won't affect your recovery. I just like it on my push days. Just the organization of doing, shoulders that day. Guys, I want to say thank you for watching the vlog today. If you guys enjoy this type of video, hit that like button. Don't forget to share the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
You go, I go, you stay, I stay. One song, you sing.